Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Who's that lame-o? Thank you very much. Great to be here. It's great to be back, taking shots at people. You know what I'm saying? We won't talk about this market too much because we're in the market and, you know, they're friends and all that stuff. But I was talking about, it took us 3 days to drive from Palm Beach to here. So we listened to a lot of radio on the way up. Mm-hmm. Wow. It is just horrendous. I mean, everybody's back to talking like this. Why are they talking? Hey, we're going to cut for about 17 minutes of commercials here, and then we'll be back and we'll give you the weather. It's like, what? Why are you so excited to give me the weather? Why do you talk like that? Hey, Catherine, Tom, I'm home. What are we having for that lovely, lovely dinner?
Coming up after the break, we'll tell you the top thing most people do at night.
There you go.
Hint, hint, it's go to sleep.
There you go. That's exactly what it was all the way for 2,000 miles. That's what I got to listen to.
Is there like a school where everybody back in the day went and they were like, hey, we all just agree we're all going to talk like this? Because there's no way that this is just a coincidence.
Broadcasting school, but Brown Institute, although a lot of people when I went there didn't talk like that, but I don't know if they later on did or what happened. But there's a thing on Facebook about Brown Institute. There's like a Brown Institute thing, which is kind of cool to read because I did go there. I think that was, I think I was there with, I'm not sure, but I think I was there at the same time as Abraham Lincoln. But
so pretty recent.
Yes, very recently I was there, and no, it just, I don't know. They don't sound human. And the other thing is, Tevin's got on a T-shirt.
Like, good one, Tom.
Why is that funny? I'm sorry, but I just don't, because I never get to listen to morning radio because I'm always working, always have been working, all the rest of it. And like I said, I'm not talking about this market. We have too many friends in this market to talk about this market, so I can't. But I just, and I understand some of it's smaller market stuff and all that. That's probably part of it. But we stopped just south of Atlanta the first day, stopped just short of Chicago the second day, and then we got home on the third day. We got home by about 5 o'clock, though, which was pretty good. But the greatest part of it all was the fact that Jude on the first day was crabbier than hell the entire 9-hour drive. I said, what's that all about? Well, he has to sit in the back seat. He doesn't like that. He wants to sit in the front seat. He can't do this. He can't, all these different things that he can't do. And he was really, he'd like look at me like, this is your fault. Like, no, it's not my fault, you pill. I want to get to something here. It's kind of interesting because I saw this article because of several friends of mine hated it. They hated the article. And then I read the article and I thought, no, wait a minute. I actually agree with this article. Well, not all of it, but some of it. Have you seen this? It's from, I don't even know what the hell it's from. If you use these 10 phrases regularly, you have a very strong personality. Have you seen that article?
No, I have not.
According to a psychologist, anyway. Psychology tells us that our words can reveal a lot about our personality. So basically, this gives you a strong personality. And I mean, if you start with this one, it shows you, of course, you would say, no, thank you. If you didn't want, what are you going to do? Say F off? I mean, why? What would you say other than no, thank you?
That I don't see how that makes you a strong personality, but
no, I got to agree with you. Number 2, here we go. And I'm going to say it the way I'm supposed to say it. You ready?
Yeah.
I believe in myself. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a little strong for my taste, Tom. You really shouldn't believe in yourself.
But you really shouldn't. Oh, believe me, I don't. I do not believe in myself. So that's number 2. I'll make it happen. I do say that a lot because I'm one of those guys, I don't mind finishing my work. A lot of people don't like to finish their work anymore. You want it done, I'll make it happen. Don't worry about it. So that's cool. I disagree. People don't say I disagree anymore.
I noticed that around here a lot. And I think I fall into this trap too, because Tevin may say, I think ketchup is the greatest condiment. It goes on everything and stuff. And I say, that's interesting. I personally feel And that's my way of saying, like, instead of the head on, I disagree with your opinion. It's what I think is this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that works. This is something I've never said in my entire life, so I don't even know if I can say this. I don't know.
that might be my top phrase.
Yeah, there you go. I know everything. No, you don't actually. Settle down. Just 5 more to go. I'm here for you, which you should be for your family and friends and coworkers and all that. That's a good one. I've made a mistake. I can admit my mistakes, no problem. Getting into radio is one of them. I understand it's the biggest one I've ever made, but 54 years later. Number 8, I need help. Don't ever get away from saying you need help. It doesn't make you look weak or anything like that. People think it makes them look weak. No, it does not. Everybody needs help from others at times, so I need help's a good one. Yeah, I like this article, actually. I think it's on there. Ooh, this is a good one. Tell me, what's the temperature, Tevin?
68 degrees.
I respect your perspective. I'd like to point that out.
That one's probably the most condescending out of the whole list so far.
There's a little condescension there. You're right. You're right about that. Just a little condescending, whatever works. And the final one, well, see, now this is good. I value myself. I don't, if you, at least a bit, 25%, 50%, 75%, whatever, you have to value yourself or you won't value anyone else. Most of the hatred in America right now, and there's tons of it, is because you don't believe in yourself. You don't respect yourself. You don't value yourself. You're a bigger deal than I am, so I hate you. What?
I think a lot of people take that and they push off like the negativity they feel about themselves and then push that onto others because they're not content with maybe who they are. And so there's this kind of hatred that exudes where maybe they seem mad at you. Tevin, I'm mad at you for whatever reason. But in reality, I'm maybe not just comfortable with myself. So let's all start with ourselves. And then I'm sure that'll work well with everybody else.
We really have to start focusing on that because honest to God, driving along and like you said, you got nothing to do in the car other than listen to the radio. And I love listening to radio anyway, don't get me wrong, but the hatred is just unbelievable. But the first thing I heard on the radio when I got back to Minnesota, we drove across the border and I hear Governor Walz saying, Minnesota's an island. It's just an island in and of itself because you've got the Dakotas and Iowa and they just attack our views. Minnesota's an island. Like, settle down for Christ's sake. These people, see, I just can't lean that hard into any party. Even if I were a centrist, I can't even lean into centricism or what the hell you would ever call it. Calm down. Right?
Is it centrism? Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm hung up on that.
Well, no. What would it be? Centricism.
Centristic values.
Centristic values is good. Good out for us. That was good.
And also, Walls, I feel like North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, all kind of the same. There's not that big of a difference between us all. So island might be a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, you want the difference from Minnesota? Why don't you go to like Alabama?
Yeah,
they're a lot different.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. He said Roll Tide. No question about it. But yeah, it was a great trip. We had a nice time, hanging out with Kath. It's funny. People say, how do you ride in the same car with your wife for 24 hours? And because it's 8 hours, it's actually closer to 28 hours. But Catherine is not one of those kind of people that annoy the shit out of you. She just doesn't.
Do people just not like their significant other?
Yeah, well, there you go.
You should be able to ride in a car.
You would hope.
That's the thing about like the old, like the golfing stereotype where it's like, I had to get out to play 18 with the boys and get away from the old ball and shit. Do you just hate your wife?
Right,
exactly. Why is that
you picked her? You guys mutually came together. This wasn't forced.
It's funny about that because you guys, different generation than I am. I play most of my golf with my wife.
I'm sure she beats you too.
Oh, shut up. Don't bring that up, you pill. I don't want to talk about it, but that might be a possibility is all I'm saying. I guess that all. But yeah, so some people hated that list of 10 things. I disagree. There are a couple of them that were a little lame, but most of them, number one, respect yourself, be grateful thank others for doing things for you. We've gotten way far away from that. Nobody's grateful for anything anymore.
No, and that list was all things that were kind of like talking about yourself, like, oh, I disagree or I value myself. And so to say that that's being, strong personality is a little out there, I think. But yeah, they're all kind of inward sayings and not necessarily something about other people.
Indeed. Your generation is going to find something out. I just saw a headline here. I didn't see this earlier. Let me see. Do you have any tattoos?
Yep.
I thought you did. Yeah, there they are.
Bad boy.
You don't, do you?
I do not.
I don't either. A study found that tattoos might cause cancer.
Everything causes cancer. The microwave causes cancer.
You know what's great about that? I'm not going to get cancer.
Right. Smoke some cigarettes.
Let's all take a rip out of our vape.
Yeah. Why do people vape? It's got to be worse for you than smoking.
I don't know, frankly. Like, the thing is about it, there's not enough scientific evidence of like the repercussions to where doctors can say, hey, like, when smoking cigarettes was like really popular in the early 90s or 1900s, excuse me, it was like, sorry, well, and the 90s.
Same. But
it was just like, people have been smoking forever. But frankly, science was not that progressed. So they're just like, you feel good. It's got to be good for you.
Well, there was a documentary on Netflix about Juul, and when that was kind of in its prime, and the like oil that was in the Juul pods caused some sort of buildup on your lungs, kids' lungs were collapsing.
Jesus.
And because the concentration was so high in the Juul pods, they were like, if you smoked a Juul a day, it was like smoking like 2 packs of cigarettes or something like that. So these kids were just addicted to the nicotine.
That's unfortunate. Oh, by the way, you may notice that I'm having one of these. I haven't had one of these in like 6 months. I get home, I found out that I have a case of those left, and I'm not just going to throw them away. So I'm going to have one every morning.
I think the kicker is that you're not pre-gaming that
bottle
of
water. That's
with
true.
The 5 hour. That's like your morning shot of like, all right, let's get her going.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me a little, not a very big buzz. 5 hour energy gives you a buzz. There's no doubt about that. You get a buzz from that stuff. But yeah, as people, I thought you quit that. Yeah, I haven't had one of these in months and months and months, but I'm not just going to throw it away.
No. And it's one every now and then won't kill you. Don't tell Catherine I said that, but.
Exactly. And the other thing is I found a box of Cheez-Its that one of the grandkids hid, and it expired a year ago. And I ate a couple of them anyway. It's like, expired. Whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
No.
Cheez-Its are Cheez-Its. They probably last about 50 years, don't they?
I would think so, because there's no, it's not like it's real cheese that you have to worry about getting moldy.
It feels like the cracker form of a Twinkie.
Yeah.
Like, it expires, but not really.
Not real. Ooh, Twinkie. You should have a Twinkie. I love those. Those are good. Suppose you better take a break here. Come back. A little more news. We're on one of those runs, ladies and gentlemen. I lost, my father-in-law, or excuse me, Alex's father-in-law, a good friend of mine, died. All these people have died in the last couple of months. Now, unfortunately, Judd Zolgad lost a family member.
Yeah, his brother-in-law passed over the weekend. It sounds like so. He is he'll be out pretty much the entirety of this week for us. So,
what the hell is it? What? Does everybody die in the spring? Is that what happens? They slog through winter, and then they get to spring. It's like, oh God, I'm giving up.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be a terrible time. Not that there's ever, I guess, a good time to die, but
I'd want to go like mid-fall.
So Judd, we're thinking of you, pal. But I know I've been talking about a lot of deaths on this show in the last 4 or 5 months. But it's like, my God, a lot of people unfortunately checking out. But so we'll miss Judd. He won't be on at all this week, as a matter of fact. When I got some news for Phil Mackey on Friday that I didn't know about, I can tell you guys as long as you don't tell him.
Okay.
Lips are sealed.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but I just never knew about it. Remember, he was all surprised that Larry Walker was a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was on the show and he was talking about that. And I said, I've known Larry Walker for, well, I didn't. Larry never told me about this. I had no idea that it happened, but I'm going to tell Phil on Friday. But we're driving along. I think it's I-20. We're on Interstate 20 down there, just in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We're about, oh God, I don't know how far. We're right in the middle of Georgia, is I guess the best way to put it. We're driving along and I look up at the signs over the freeway. Next exit, Larry Walker Parkway. He's got his own road named after him.
Oh,
What the hell is that? Now, that's the first time that ever happened to me, that I drove across a street that was named after a friend of mine. I've never done that before.
Yeah, that's got to be a weird feeling. And like,
It is
I wonder
weird.
if he picked that road. Did they just say, hey, we're going to name this after you? But that's cool.
Although, well, I got to know them, but I didn't know them at the time. But I think it's Brooklyn Center. There's Boone Avenue that runs all the way. I think it runs all the way from Golden Valley up through that area.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's a cul-de-sac, the corner of Boone and Erickson, the former morning show at WCCO for about 40 years. Oh. I live right at the corner of Boone and Erickson, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was very, very cool. They had their own intersection. So that worked out. But yeah, to look up and see your friend's name, and Larry's, what is he, about 40?
Yeah,
I'm much older than that.
I bet you he's either late 40s or baseball players. Baseball players are weird because they can play.
That's true. They can play for a long time. Yeah, I don't know how old Larry is, but he's a lot younger than me. I know that.
Looks like he's 57.
Larry Walker's 50s. Mm-hmm. That was that long ago?
57, yeah. Born in 66.
Jesus, really? Well, I feel better about it now. There's no question about it. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time because I used to, play golf with him in the winter and run into him here and there. But apparently he spends a lot of time in Mexico now in the winter.
I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a couple of years, as a matter of fact, because of that. But yeah, Larry Walker Park. Tevin Pittman Parkway. Where is it going to be?
They're probably out in the middle of nowhere. Some just dirt road that nobody drives down.
A one-way road right to the dump.
Yeah. Right to the dump.
Off a cliff.
Yeah.
That's not very nice, no, is it? But yeah, thank you to God for giving me. I look up and there's my friend's name, Larry Walker Parkway. Like, okay.
Did your Siri or MapQuest or whatever say it to you? Like, turn left on Larry Walker Parkway, and you're like, what the hell are you?
No, I just happened to look up.
Huh.
I just happened to look up at the sign, and there it was right there, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a weird feeling. That's all I have to say. We'll take a break, be right back. So yes, Judd will not be with us today, unfortunately. He will not be with us this week, as a matter of fact. I'm very, very sorry to hear that he lost his brother-in-law over the weekend. K&L Surplus and Ammo in Lina Lakes, my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. That's very important, the right firearm for your needs. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl, hunting, to skeet, shooting, and more. I highly encourage you to stop in to talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock is very important, and fair pricing, of course. I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lina Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone, 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all of your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. You get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and will not last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually do absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com, and please use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yes, indeed. Back in studio, ladies and gentlemen, in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. You know what I'm talking about.
How's it feel being back? It's been a while.
I know. It's kind of weird because I forgot I lived here.
I say, did you forget how to get in? Like, you didn't have to wander around?
I didn't have to have a key, thank God, but Jesus, that's a nice angle you got there. I look like I want to kill someone. Get that evil stare. Might have something to do that, because this show, when it starts at 8 o'clock in Florida, it's 9 o'clock. So this show starts an hour earlier for me, which, works out in the end, because the other thing is you're out of here by 11 o'clock in the morning or after the family show.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not too bad. You got the rest of the day and the whole situation there. So anything new in the world I should know about?
Well, we were talking about it before the show, but legendary Bill Walton passed away over the weekend. Terrible news. That was a guy that, as a casual basketball enthusiast, like, I still kind of know so much about him. He's got the 30 for 30 about him. I had the pleasure of, when the Final Four was here a while ago, it feels like 5 years ago now, I was able to help out on Radio Row, and I was his handler when he came by. And let me tell you, that was maybe the hardest thing ever in my life to do, because this man would sit down and just like immediately start talking, and so conversational, really not talking about basketball, and people are trying to steer it in. So they'd get like 5-10 minutes for him. The bigger stations got a little bit more or whatever, but I'm getting like, hey, we got to move. And I'm like, Bill, we got to keep going. He's like, just give me another second here too. And then that second turned into 5 more minutes talking about like his time breeding with alpacas in the Netherlands. So it's like, just a hilarious guy, great attitude about everything, super positive. So terrible news in the sports world over the weekend.
Only 71, right?
I think so.
71, and I believe it was cancer.
He did
that he was fighting.
He died of cancer, unfortunately, but I was welcomed back to Minnesota with a little humor, which I appreciate. Might not be some humor that some people will not appreciate, but I thought it was pretty clever. I ducked into a local, gas station combo with the I don't know. What, you couldn't call it a grocery store that's in the gas station. What do you even call that?
Convenience store?
Yeah, like a convenience store. That's a good way to put it. So I was in the convenience store, and I had not heard about Bill Walton, because he just died yesterday or last night, didn't he? Something like that.
I think it was
yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, was it? Okay. But so I walk in, and then I look down at the newspaper, and it says, and I say it out loud as I'm looking at the headline, and I say to the guy behind the counter, "Oh man, Bill Walton died." Guy behind the counter, was he watching the Timberwolves? That's kind of cold. They'll kill you. Watching them will kill you. So we do have to talk a bit about that, because this is usually a sports segment, but I am shocked that the Timberwolves got as far as they did against two of the best teams in the NBA. And I'm not saying that Dallas is not one of the best teams in the NBA, but Dallas is just dominating. What's going on there?
Yeah, Luka and Kyrie are playing just out of their minds, and it feels like they're making every shot. But Cat, I don't even know if he's suited up this series. He's played terribly. I think the last 5 games, I believe he's shot 4 for 32 from 3-point.
God.
Like, he's just been a complete no-show. And then he's getting killed online because after one of the games, he said he shoots 1,500 shots every day. And then on TNT, they have a bunch of former players, and they're like, no, you're not. Like, in the playoffs, you're trying to get as much rest as possible. You're not in the gym all day shooting 1,500 shots on your day off. Don't lie to us.
Are you on 2K? Like, are you playing video games? Is that where those shots are getting up?
Yeah, so it's been a disaster. And unfortunately, we'll probably end up losing another game tonight, and it'll be all over.
You think 4 in a row? Because that's what happened with the Celtics. They won 4 in a row, right?
Yep. Yeah, it feels like a sweep. I don't even know if our team will show up today. It'll be rough.
So you got the Celtics who swept. You would have at that point Dallas that swept. Are you going with who?
God, I want to say Dallas just because it would make me feel better about the performance that we've shown. But Boston's so good as well that it'll be a good series at least.
The only upside about the Timberwolves being swept tonight would be it exposes how bad of a schedule the NBA has.
Yeah.
Because if they don't expect both series to be sweeps, right?
Yep.
They have a set, I think it's the
June
6th.
Yep.
June 6th. That is no matter what happens in the series, the start date. So you'd have 8 days without basketball, without playoff basketball, that people are going to have to sit around and be like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Start the finals. Why are we waiting?
That's true. It's 8 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's what's kind of interesting about that. When I was a kid, there were no Timberwolves then. When I was I shouldn't say kid, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I guess it was. But I was a huge Celtics fan because of Kevin McHale. McHale left the University of Minnesota, went to the Celtics. I started watching the Celtics. Then you got, Robert Parrish, and you got Larry Bird. You got, you player after player after player. To see the Celtics as good as they used to be, even though it's been years since I've been a Celtics fan, because I actually met Kevin McHale, if you know what I'm saying. I will always love the Celtics, man. Matter of fact, the first Christmas gift Catherine ever bought me, the year that I met her, was a Boston Celtics jacket.
Yeah, and I kind of the same way was a Boston Celtics fan when Kevin Garnett went over there because I was a huge KG fan and he got whatever one was able to win a championship. So go Boston, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going Boston instead of Dallas. What do you think? You going Dallas?
I think Boston's just had so much success over the past 10, 20 years. I'm kind of sick of it. Same with Dallas, though. I mean, right now their hockey team is about to go to the Stanley Cup final, and the Mavericks are looking pretty solid too. That they still would probably trade all that success for the Cowboys to have a good season. So that's all right. But yeah, I bet you Boston probably pulls it out in 6.
That's a series I will watch.
Yeah,
I mean, watching the Timberwolves. As I told you, my daughter Alex is a huge, and Dan, her husband's an even bigger fan of the Timberwolves. So Catherine and I were watching some of the stuff, but I was on the road for the last one, so I didn't get a chance to watch that. But I thought they would do better against Dallas than they're doing.
Yeah, I thought we should have been the favorites to win, but I guess shows you how much I know about basketball.
Well, I felt the same thing though. I thought they were going to be favored, and they were not. And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I know we'll see.
Yeah. And I think the city kind of in general, because Denver was kind of the mountaintop, for defending champions, we beat them. It should be smooth sailing the rest of the way out. And so I think the fans celebrated maybe a little prematurely, and that potentially could have rubbed off on the players as well. Because
here's what I'll say. No team, I think, has ever come back from 3-0 down in the NBA playoffs.
Why not us?
Why not a Minnesota team to just flip the script?
Works for me.
Is it going to happen? Probably not. There's a super slim chance, but you never know.
There is a chance.
It ain't over till it's over.
It's true. Well, I got to tell you guys, by the way, so we're staying in Danville, Illinois, which is just south of Chicago. On the way home, I'm sitting in the lobby because Catherine usually sleeps an hour or two more than I do. She goes to bed later. But we're on the road to go to bed at the same time, but then she sleeps longer than I do. But I'm down in the lobby sitting there and talking to this guy and all the rest of it. Guy's a listener.
Oh.
His name was Scott. Matter of fact, they put him up on the Facebook. Catherine put him up on my Facebook page. Really, really nice guy. Just a really great guy. And the greatest part of that is, though, that he's like, well, why didn't your old station, why didn't they just, keep things rolling? I said, really? How you doing there, pal? No, but Scott was a great guy. Scott, it was very nice to meet you. I hope you're listening this morning. Really nice to meet you. No question about that. I thought I'd say it's so much fun to run into listeners. I ran into some in Florida, some just outside of Chicago. That's nice to see. So
yeah, great.
Especially when you're just random, not expecting to.
No,
like you're saying, out in the middle of nowhere and get recognized. That's awesome.
Catherine also pointed out, said, Tom, you're never going to get out of the north side, are you? And I said, what are you talking about? She said, these 2 hotels. I said, yeah, they're really nice. She said, yeah, they're beautiful hotels. But did you ever notice anything about these 2 hotels? in just south of Atlanta, just south of Chicago? I said, no, what? She said, we're the only white people in this building. And that was just a total coincidence. But you get there and the people behind the desk are so incredibly nice. It is unbelievable. Whatever you need, you got it. People have their little kids running around. I never even noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I suppose someone who didn't grow up in that environment, maybe they'd know, but not one white person in the building other than Catherine and me. But it was wonderful. Both places are great. It's been like, I don't know how many years in a row we've stayed at both places. And after like all 2-3 years, whatever it's been, I never noticed that. It's hilarious. Talk to the media here, though. It's like, maybe it's because I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate Tevin and all black people. I'd like to point
supporting
that out.
black business every time you go to.
Yeah,
Atlanta,
other than that,
whatever.
I didn't know I was, though. So does that count?
Yeah, it still counts.
Well, I didn't avoid them. That's true. That's a very good point. Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Now is the time to get a jump on summer. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in your first 8 weeks the Livia way. When you join Livia, you'll receive a personalized and doctor-recommended program tailored to your unique needs, goals, and lifestyle. Livia's amazing team of registered dietitians and nutritionists will guide you every step of the way. Join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks. Oh, I got to say that slower. Join Livia today and get your first 8 weeks free. Now, I will say this, being on the road for 3 days, being in a car for almost 30 hours, I thought I was just going to get home, get on the scale, and have gained a couple of pounds because I didn't move anywhere near as much. You're basically in a situation, even though I have like these bars with me, those work out really, really well. But, you're going to be eating some restaurant food, which has a lot of salt and fat in it. But I got on a scale. I had actually lost 2 more pounds on the way home. So I'm very, very happy about that action. And I do want to also thank Ben Lieber because I did an interview with Ben on, was it Wednesday or Thursday last week? Somewhere like that. I was on their show, Twin Cities Live. But you know Ben at all?
Yeah, I met him.
You're out of the mix.
Like 2 or 3 times. Very briefly, yeah.
What a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. He should have a way bigger ego than he does.
No, I don't know about that. But, but Ben was just great, and all the people at Livia kind of teed that whole deal up, and we had a nice talk and all the rest of it. And it was so interesting about that. We talked a lot about age and how you look when you're a person my age. I don't care if it's fat or huge muscle. It's not good for your heart to carry that much extra weight with you. So even if it is muscle, you need to dial back on it, and get in that free zone, that good zone, But yeah, thank you to everybody at Twin Cities Live. Ben Lieber did a great job with the interview, and I lost 2 pounds on the road. So thanks to everybody at Livia as well. Join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks free. Visit livia.com. That's LIVEA.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA. And Livia is now offering GLP-1 medications. Quiet the food noise and see accelerated results by summer. Visit livia.com. Call 855-GO-LIVIA. Start your weight loss journey now and get a jump on the summer the Livia way.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car, especially when you're on the road. You really need your car to be in top shape when you're on the road for 3 days. No question. You judge them both by the results of their work. Yeah. Josh Arnold's an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Josh will be with us at 9 o'clock this morning. We'll talk to him then. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my favorite Minnesotan, Chris Egert.
Yeah, we had a Texas dude on the news this morning who said Minnesotan, and I remember you saying that last week too. It's so funny.
Twice he said, you Minnesotans are pretty good. Why would you put a Minnesotan, North Dakotian? I mean, what? I don't get it. New Yorkier. Why is it not a New Yorkier if you're from New York? Whatever, but that look on your face when he kept saying Minnesotan, I'm looking at your face and you're like, oh God, whatever.
Well, and we also interviewed like 3 Minnesota people who were down there and like, oh, it's so hot. I'm like, of course it's hot. That was such a typical like Minnesota response. Oh gosh, it sure is hot down here.
I will tell you one thing though. I did learn that basically the month of May, get the hell out of Florida and stay the hell out of Minnesota. Just stop about halfway up for the month of May and then you can come in.
Yeah, no, listen, as a former Florida resident, I get it. To me, it started getting too hot in April.
I understand. Yep.
When, you get that good 3 months there, man, where everything is just perfect, but
it's true. There's a lot of that action going on, but it's a beautiful drive coming back up through.
Good. Did you stop at? Oh no, you probably didn't stop at Waffle House because you're doing your diet.
No, we did not. Thank you. I lost 2 pounds on the trip home, so shut up. Leave me alone.
Man, I'd go for some Waffle House right now.
Waffle House is good, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I don't know, but so yeah, I watched the news this morning. Well, I watch Channel 5 when I'm in Florida. Anyway,
yeah.
Which is really great. To be able to do that is very cool.
That's where it's at these days.
It is indeed, no doubt about it. So anything big go. So today, is today George Floyd Day or was it yesterday? Did they do it on Memorial Day or is it today?
Well, the day he was killed was the 25th. So
it's the 25th. They just do it then. Okay.
Yeah, it would have been on Saturday, I think.
On Saturday, yeah.
So
do they? What do they do for that day? I mean, they don't have like a parade or anything. What do they do?
No, I think there were some ceremonies and stuff, but I don't know that. I don't know that there was that much going on, to be honest with you. I'm sure there was stuff happening at the location there on Chicago, but I don't know that there was any big proclamations or anything. So
no, it was hilarious because I was listening to morning radio on the way into the show today. I have nothing more to say about that, except for a couple of shows I have a lot of friends on, but that's all I have to say about that too. But that one guy, and I don't know what station it even was, but he was going off the deep end. It's like, this guy was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He had a fake $20 bill on him. He was going after George Floyd. Like there's well, he was right. I mean, the guy was a raging alcoholic and a drug addict, and he did have a phony 20 on him, but I don't think he should have died for that, but that's all I'm saying, right?
Yeah, that I still, and I think about it a lot, and I think about how that whole thing played out, and the snapshot of time that we were in. Had we not been in that moment in time where everyone was at home locked inside because of the pandemic, or had been, if there were so many things and factors that came together to me to have that play out the way it did, it's I don't know, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, it was the perfect storm of the whole city was locked down, well, the whole country, so we had nothing better to do. It was also warm and nice weather out, whereas like if it happened in the winter, there's a lot of people that would have been like, maybe I'm outraged, but it's too cold to go stand outside and march for a couple hours. So yeah, it was really just a perfect storm of everything going on. And it's then even like there were other incidences in other parts of the country as well. I think Atlanta and Milwaukee. Yeah. So it's kind of, just a powder keg of emotions at that point.
But beyond that, this weekend, there was a lot, 10 different people hurt in St. Paul in 3 different shootings. Sounds like some of them were related to graduation parties, and some of the people may have known each other. They're kind of trying to connect all the dots. But, I mean, usually the St. Louis City has got a little less going on than Minneapolis, but that was definitely not the case this weekend. So
what is it? Because there have been a lot of shootings in Minnesota in the last 6 months, and they made national news, as a matter of fact. There have been so many.
Yeah, I would say that much stuff going on in St. Paul jumps out at me as being relatively, I won't say rare, because no neighborhood is immune to, but there has been up to this point seemed like a lot more stuff going down in Minneapolis than St. Paul. But
what is the deal here? How old? So it's a graduation ceremony. Are these people 18, 20, 22 years old?
I mean, assuming there's graduation, it's high school graduation. And then you've got periphery people and you've got family and you get stuff that's going around on social. I had heard that there'd been some beef on social media and then things that turned into more than maybe what it was. So.
Yeah, social media.
Your phone.
Yeah, seriously, social media is not real. Stop believing stuff on social. Say hello to your friends on social media. That's what I do.
I just had this conversation with my wife the other day, and she's like, she looked at something. She's like, prof, and I'm like,
that's a great impression of your wife, by the way.
And I was like, dude, everything on your phone is like fake. Like, I mean.
Yep.
Not a lie, but it's also not the truth. It's your phone. And I'm like, if you're looking for the truth, get the hell off that phone, because you're not going to find it there. I mean,
well, you're right. No, you're right.
A bunch of I'm going to sound like an old man if I keep going any further.
Say it, old man.
Old man, look at my life. What the hell?
What a great song, by the way.
I would like to point out, by the way, just the quality of this show, where you show up on the Tuesday after Memorial Day, and we're 2 guys in blue and 2 guys in white. So there's this nice flow. Do you see that?
We do have a good color coordination going on today.
Yeah, beautiful. I think.
Nice work, everybody.
Yes, way to pay attention. I like it. Anyway, so yeah, I just it's good to be back home. It's interesting stuff going on here and there, and I just like I said, it's not, even though I do watch you down in Florida, it's nice to get back home, just turn on the television, and there you are. I like that.
There's a bit more of a connection when you're sitting in the same town, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys, Wolves are going to win tonight, right?
God, I hope. I don't know. My enthusiasm for this team is just shot.
It's been a tough 3 games, man. Yeah. It is so many emotions, and I don't know. I don't really believe that the NBA is fixed, but I also can't look at the reffing from that last game and feel like everything is straight up either. And so I'm just on that premise alone. Let's get this to go as many games as it can to try to keep the ratings up, right? Because the other series is closed out. So think of all the millions of dollars in money being generated that would be missed out if the series ends tonight. So at the very least, it's going to keep going, hopefully.
That would be great. Now, I do want them to win tonight really badly, because to get just brushed after taking 2 great series, both of those series were really good. And after taking both of those to get swept, I would not care for that.
I just want it to end positively, and it's not right now. People are just and everyone's all, and I feel bad for Karl Anthony Towns, and he's not
Don't
Had a
feel bad
great-
for him.
Yeah, but I don't miss the man. I don't wish him ill will because he's not hitting shots. Like, shooters got to shoot. You can't not play your game.
Yeah, but you also can't tell the world that you're the best shooting big man in the history of the NBA and then shoot 4 for 32.
Well, again, so let's get a couple wins. Even if we don't win the series, let's get a couple wins, get it back, get it to a point that's respectable. And if we lose in game 7, so be it. But
I like your call. That works for me. Tie her up 3-3 and then lose game 7.
I mean, I'm not going to, I am a Minnesota sports fan. I'm not going to go crazy and predict a win, but
I do understand.
I can predict heartbreak either way. Either we lose tonight and we're heartbroken.
Well, you've done it for me, so I understand what you're saying.
Yep.
All right, Palomino, it's great to be back in the same town as you, but I was watching you this morning. See, that's what I do. As I have whenever it's like cold outside, it was raining this morning, so I walked about 1.5 miles in my house. I got this little deal in the basement when you go around these. So I was walking and watching you guys the whole time. It's like, God, I am back home.
I'm glad to be that guy on the other end of the TV screen, Tom, to inform you on all the terrible things that are going on.
And I got to learn a new word, Minnesotian. I didn't know about that from before. We shall talk to you tomorrow, sir.
Good to see you back.
Thanks. Great to be back. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. And we have some Italian guy on or something. What's that?
It's it's Pasta Tuesday, so Spaghetti Tuesdays.
Like a Roberto Sansevere or something like that. Yeah.
Roberto Sansevere. Bob Sansevere will be up next. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
K&L Surplus and Ammo in Atlanta Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's a guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Atlanta Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You know, this kind of stuff that I like, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Eric. Bob, you worked with Ray Eric.
Yep.
Worked with Ray Eric at the Q for many, many years. One of my favorite people. Soaking up the heat in St. Pete Beach, listening to the show, returning this evening. Great to hear that. He's working at WDGY, isn't he? Doesn't he work at, I think he works at WDGY. He was when I left, I know, several months ago. I am assuming he's still there. I'll find out very, very quickly. Sandy, what is on your shirt there? What is that?
Oh, it's a friend of mine who owns Tech Warrior. It's
Warrior.
Yep. It's right in Rockford there, and he does all my computer stuff.
Is that a lightning bolt coming out of the back of your head, or what is that?
What do you mean?
On your shirt. What is that on your shirt? Oh, he's got his arms up in the air. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that the first time around. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So what's up, Sandy?
Well, I heard you talking a little about the Timberwolves.
We're hoping they'll pull one out tonight, Bob. That'd be good.
Okay, here's the way they pull one out. Chris Finch actually has to show that he has a killer instinct and doesn't care about hurting Cat's feelings. He needs to bench his ass. Cat rhymes with shat, which is how he's played.
Sansevere, Jesus.
It's true.
Cat rhymes with shat.
He's been historically bad. The last 5 games, his 3-point percentage is the worst in history. And over that period as well, his shooting percentage is the 4th worst in history since the shot clock era. And the bad thing, 2 of the guys, the first 2 guys played in the 50s, and one of them was Jim Pollard from the Minneapolis Lakers.
Oh, sure.
And then 20 years ago was Ron Artest. So it's historically bad. Finch has to bench him and let Naz Reid's been great when he's in. Let Karl Anthony Towns be the guy off the bench when Reid or Gobert needs a break, and you grab him by the shirt before he goes in, and you say, "Don't you dare take a 3." Because, did you see the quote? I mean, this is why the team is doomed. Just got to keep shooting. No, your shooting is he helped them beat Denver. But this is another series. He is killing them in this series. And if you're Chris Finch, why don't you tell Anthony Edwards? He was dominant in the 3rd quarter the other night, driving to the basket. That disappeared in the 4th quarter. Every time they go down, he should have the ball and drive to the basket because he'll get fouled or he'll score. The chances are much better than kicking it out to Cat to throw another 3 up. And throw up is what it is.
And that.
Yeah, it is not. It's been hard to watch because, Bob, like you're saying, it feels like Cat just can't. He couldn't hit the water if he fell out of a boat right now. And he needs to stop. Just sit him on the bench. Let him collect his thoughts.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You want to win. In the short term, bench him. In the long term, if you can find a sucker to take that bloated salary, trade him and let Naz Reid be your starter. Because that guy can play. I mean, he gives him juice, and Cat still thinks he's a star. He talked about the other day too. I shoot 1,500 shots a day. Yeah, but they're not going in when it counts. Kevin, you pointed out he thinks that's the problem. He thinks he's the best 3-point shooter of big men. I think he thinks he's the best 3-point shooter of anyone, and he's not. It's one thing to shoot your way out of a slump in the regular season. Yeah, go ahead, keep launching them. But not when you're facing elimination.
Right. When you're the anchor that's around the Timberwolves' neck drowning us, maybe it's time to stop shooting the ball.
Or the other 4 guys have to have a pact. Don't give the ball to Cat. Make him get a rebound and make him put it back in if it's an offensive rebound.
Oh, he wouldn't just put it back in. He'd dribble it out to the 3-point line. And launch one.
Yeah. He'd launch up another one of his 1,500.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Sandy, I like the take. Now, I like listening to this stuff because I do agree with all you guys that if you're going to tell everybody you're the best ever, you better be the best ever.
And he ain't.
No, he's not.
I mean, there really were a couple of games. I said it on your show that I actually was starting to think, you know what? Maybe he's not as bad as I thought in Denver, but now he's worse than I thought. because he thinks he's so much better than he is. And I think it bothers him that Anthony Edwards is getting all the attention. So he is launching these threes because he has to show he can make them. Well, he can't. 4 for 32, right? 12.5% is what he's shooting the last 5 games. So that even includes the Denver series when he played pretty good and helped them win. So it's doomsday potentially. But again, I'm not predicting tonight because after that Phoenix series where I was so wrong, I'm not going to. They could wind up winning tonight. Certainly they could. But that Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in the fourth quarter, they don't miss.
No.
They just keep it close, and then they take it over in the last couple of minutes of every game they've played so far. Those guys are unbelievable. So
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stand back and listen.
It's so depressing. And and everybody will go, typical Minnesota, we played so well and now we fall apart. But yeah, it's really the story is Cat playing so well and kind of tricking us all into thinking maybe he's turned a new leaf. He's good taking second fiddle and, watching Ant dominate. And now it's, like you said, Bob, Cat rhymes with Shat. That's going to be on a State Fair t-shirt.
That's the new Bring Your Ass.
Yep.
Bring Your Ass is out. Cat is Shat.
You get your marketing department on that and send me a shirt when they got them.
Cat is Shat.
Cost me an XL. I've scaled down from the XX.
There you go. Bob, is there any way to keep him this offseason, or is that just like you're looking to trade him no matter what?
I think you're stuck with him. Who's going to take that salary, $50 million a year? Because you know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
at least
$50 million a year.
Too. I mean, who will take on that salary? Because he is no more than a complimentary player. He's not going to be the star of any team, but he will try to be the star of your team and your star. The way he is right now, if you put him on the Mavericks, Wolves win. Because Doncic and Kyrie Irving won't be getting the shots they normally do because he'll want to shoot. He has killed them in the series.
Yeah, and it kills the rhythm of our offense as well because there's no flow now. It's all just come down. He's launching a three, or it's now we got to try and work the offense. The whole thing is just discombobulated.
And he also he doesn't like set him. He had a shot in the fourth quarter. It was between the 3-point line and half court is what it looked like. He's just tossing them up.
Oh yeah. And they're not close. There was one he threw up and it just, all it did was smack off the backboard. Didn't even hit the rim. The whole basket is shaking. He's just throwing rocks at the backboard.
The way he's shooting threes, it's like a guy who has the ball with 0.01 left in a half and you just toss it and hope that for the best, and the best is not happening.
No.
So it's just it's horrible. And again, I blame Finch because he's allowed it to happen. He needs to put an end to this, and he needs to put an end to it tonight, or they are going to get swept like the Pacers did by Boston. And by the way, good luck to Boston playing against this Mavericks team. I just don't think this team could be beaten.
Really?
You like Dallas over Boston? I would have thought you would for sure be on the Boston bandwagon.
Why? Mike Bryant's on the Boston bandwagon. I don't think. I mean, I think the East it's a bunch of pussies in the East. Let's be honest. It always has been. Not okay since the Bird Celtics, Bird McHale Celtics. The East has been miserable. There have not been great teams coming out of the East. Have there? I mean, the conference finals. The West is where since the Warriors started their little run, it's been the West has been so much better and so much more dominant.
All right, Sandy, another brilliant report. I'm really glad you didn't try to rhyme anything with a guy named Mel Blunt. In any case, moving.
Blunt as in Hunt?
As in Hunt, yes. Who was Mel Blunt again?
Oh, DB. DB for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you go.
He is my, a very quick story. I was working at the Associated Press in Jersey, and I got a job interview in Pittsburgh. I killed it, right? I broke the story.
I killed it.
On the job interview that Mel Blunt was retiring because I just met up with him and I talked to him. Yeah, I'm going to retire. So it was like the lead story, and I didn't get the job because the guy said, well, we want somebody who's a little more flowery or, storyteller.
Flowery?
How do you want me to? Mel Blunt retired. What do you want? A story. I mean, it's a story. The story is he retired. Anyway, but it led to this because the guy who hired a flowery writer. That was a good guy he hired, but he's the one who recommended me to come to Minneapolis, to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune sports editor at the time, because they wanted somebody who was a little more newsy.
So you would have never met Mary if it wasn't for that guy thinking you weren't flowery enough.
I wasn't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have. No question.
See?
Well, Bob, I think you're about as flowery as they come.
Yes, you're very flowery.
I don't smell like a flower right now. Maybe
great.
A stinkweed. Maybe that. I smell like shat. I came in with that. I'll go out with that.
Bye, Sandy.
Get those shirts. Cat rhymes with shat.
Get it going.
All right. See ya.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Bob Sansevere Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers. Seeking justice for the injured, contact Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. Josh Arnold joins us right after this.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yes, you are, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Arnold now joins us. Josh, how are you, pally?
Well, I've been better.
Well, what's the matter?
Well, I've got a little pain in the butt, pain in the hamstring that won't go away.
What have you been doing with your butt?
He
just goes
sitting on it. Yeah.
Sitting on it. Okay, you're sitting on it. That's all I was asking. That's all I was asking. Yeah, you know.
I understand how your thoughts go, but I'm just sitting on it.
Okay, right, you know. It's really nice to hear. But in any case, so things have been good, I'm assuming, anyway.
Overall, things have been pretty good. I'm able to hit a golf ball at least 150 yards.
There you go.
Having a little fun there. At least I'm able to walk, from place to place. That's a positive. And the market overall has been okay.
Okay, you like it?
Okay.
Yeah.
We've had some positive things happening in the way of earnings coming in a little bit better than expected, at least for some of my companies, including Apple and Amazon. We've had the government get after some of my favorite companies, including Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook and Live Nation. I think we've discussed that, the president had trouble getting tickets to see Taylor Swift and had to pay up for tickets. Ipso facto, Live Nation and their owned platform, Ticketmaster, is a monopolist. Horror upon horrors.
Right.
Better get the DOJ after Ticketmaster because they charge too much for tickets and their fees for ticketing are also too high. Horror upon horror.
I understand that. No question. Was that dog trying to attack? Are you out for a walk this morning?
Well, I'm out for a walk. There's too much noise going on in my house. We've got two big dogs, and the dogs were ready to attack the guy bringing the laundry.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was thinking about this on the way back home. Does your mother come and visit you here?
Yes, she does.
Well, we got to find a prime catch for the dinner, a couple of dinners.
Okay, I will be on the lookout for that.
We a couple of times, 2-3 times this year, we got together with your mother at a place called Prime Catch down in Florida. I love your mother. Your mother's much nicer person than you are.
Yes, she is.
He just agrees right out of the
no question about it. My mother, talking about my mother, she gets written up in the local paper, in the Fort Lauderdale Sentinel, because she's still out golfing twice a week at age 96.
Twice a week at 96. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, she's still winning money. I think that's why she keeps golfing.
Winning the cash. So can she beat you on the course?
Well, she's got a much higher handicap than I do.
Oh,
Her
okay.
handicap is I'm going to say, well, 3 times higher. Yeah, her index, I think, is 3 times higher than mine. She plays from a much forward tee.
Yeah, true.
And she putts better than I do.
Women can putt, man. Catherine's a good putter too. I don't know what the hell it is.
Oh, she is a super putter.
Well, we've got to get it all set up. There's no question. Have a couple of dinners with your mom. We have these great conversations. Nobody ever gets agitated. It's fantastic.
Well, you haven't seen her when it comes to politics.
No,
she gets
probably not.
She gets very, very upset. Here, I'll give you a little politics other than the president having a difficult time getting Taylor Swift tickets and going after Live Nation.
Right.
Which, if you read this particular suit, and there are a lot of people that are very excited that Ticketmaster is getting sued as a monopolist because they believe that that's going to bring down the price of tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not going to happen.
Right.
Ticketmaster collects a little fee for selling the tickets. Yes, there's an issue with the resellers buying large blocks of tickets and then reselling them through StubHub, a competitor of Ticketmaster, and there are several other resellers who jack the price up so that they can get a fee. But mostly the ticket prices are set either by the venue or by the artist. So that's I'm not going to say that's the way of the world, but it's not a major monopoly by any stretch of the imagination. And Live Nation and Ticketmaster's fees have actually gone down a little bit, and their profit margins are still pretty small. On the other hand, you have another state that needs money desperately, Illinois. They've been raising taxes willy-nilly. They've been paying they've been paying the government employees higher and higher wages. You can just see that with Chicago teachers who are on strike every other year because it's for the kids. It's for the kids, but they want more money or they won't teach.
Yeah. Well, the Pritzker family lives there. Why don't they just pay up?
Well, they're not going to. They want you to pay up. And who do they want you to pay up? Who are they going after? They're going after all the sports bettors.
Yep, absolutely.
So they just decided to increase their take from online sports betting, which this morning had an adverse effect on favorite DraftKings and Flutter, which owns FanDuel. Well, I guess they can't. They said, well, we can't raise taxes more, income taxes more. Property taxes are higher than high. Businesses in Illinois are leaving because of it's become a high tax state. So we'll get the remaining residents who do online betting.
Right.
We'll nick them for more money.
I don't know. I just love that everybody gets up on that podium and tells us that we need to pay more, and they're billionaires, but they don't pay more, but we do. The middle class pays for everything.
Right. I mean, it was very interesting. I get on a little rant. Here's Bernie Sanders, Senator. Well, I'm against millionaires. Oh, Bernie, do you realize that you own 3 houses and your net worth is now over, is in the tens of millions of dollars?
I know.
Well, I don't hate millionaires. I hate billionaires.
Yeah. Yep.
Billionaires have no right to exist. Oh, okay.
I know. Well,
that's just my little rant. I get upset, as you know, with all this high tax. I get upset with, well, we got to put tariffs on these products coming into the country because that'll help our businesses. Okay, so all those tariffs increase costs for products coming into the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who or the businesses that do benefit from those tariffs, they raise their prices too.
Yes. So we pay for it once again.
Again, that's correct.
Not a shock. Well, I'm looking forward to Friday. I get to be in studio with Josh Arnold on Friday. What do you think of that action?
Well, I look forward to that too.
All right,
that
Pally.
should be fun.
Well, have a good day. We'll talk to you on Friday.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
Thanks, Josh. Josh Arnold, ladies and gentlemen. Josh had a little edge to him today, which I kind of like.
Yeah,
that
fired up.
It's his mother. Honest to God, I don't know that she's 5 feet tall.
Yeah, that's incredible to play golf at 96. I hope I'm in good enough shape to do that when I'm 96.
She's just a sweetheart of a woman too. I don't know what happened to Josh because his mother's very, very sweet. One of those kind of deals. We'll take a break. But speaking of sweet women, ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt up next. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh, I didn't pop up. I messed up, ladies and gentlemen. When I'm remote, I closed the laptop for the last segment of the show with Kristyn Burtt, and I can't do that when I'm here. I forgot all about that. But there it is. You got it back now. We are good to go.
Kristyn Burtt, I have breaking news. She got knocked out, coming back in. Not sure what happened. She was here for most of the last segment with Mr. Arnold talking. During the break, she popped off. So hopefully knocked out as in she got knocked out of the room, not knocked out physically.
Yeah, she's not unconscious in her
One
closet.
One of her cats attacked.
There you go. No, yeah, I got to remember that in that studio I can close it. In this studio I cannot. So I will remember that from now on. So is it because I closed it that she got knocked off the air? Maybe. Huh?
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I'm not sure what's going on, but I know I see her. She's loading.
There
so
she
we'll have
is.
her here any moment.
I'm going to blame everything on her when she gets here. Right there, it's your fault.
Good morning.
What's up, sister?
How are you? How's everyone's long weekend?
It was magnificent, no question. We spent it all. Well, we spent about 2/3 of it driving back home, which was a great experience. Most people say, "How can you and your wife be in the car together for 30 hours over 3 days and end up not talking to one another?" We don't have any problem with that. I mean, Catherine's one of my favorite people in the world. She makes me laugh. She tells me to go F myself. You know, all the good stuff.
Well, that's good. I mean, I can do 30 hours. If you can't do 30 hours with your spouse, you're in trouble.
Well, I would have to agree with that. But
yeah, you're in a lot of trouble.
know. You never know with some of these kids. It's just how it is. But so what's on your docket, sister?
Well, I probably went to the biggest pop culture news over the weekends. I went to see North West singing in The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl.
AJ shaking his head.
I said,
AJ knows.
Yeah.
What?
And I'm not mad at her because she's what, 10? It's not her fault. But we need to have a little bit of backbone when it comes to who and who we don't allow on stage at some major performing centers and like shows and stuff like that. Just because your dad is Kanye West and your mom is Kim Kardashian does not mean that you should be able to play Simba in the 30th anniversary like show of The Lion King.
And let me give you some background on all of this too, because it was one of those situations where this is being taped for Disney Plus, so everyone will have the opportunity to see this. I'm sure they're going to sweeten the sound when it comes to Northwest because she was pretty pitchy.
Randy
But
Jackson say it's pitchy, dog.
it was pitchy. But not only did they bring in some of the former Broadway cast and some of the dancers from the Broadway cast, the costumes. So if anyone's seen the Broadway show, you're going to be very familiar with it. They brought in some of the voices from the original animated film. Nathan Lane sang, Ernie Sabella sang. The original Simba, the little kid, Jason Weaver, was the singing voice. Only he didn't do the actual voice itself, but he did the singing voice. He sang as well. And then you brought in Jennifer Hudson, who killed it. And you're seeing some of the voices from the live action film as well. So we're talking about top-notch, gorgeous costumes, expensive costumes. Like you could even tell from just watching them, they were expensive. The lighting was extraordinary. There were fireworks. There was not only just a full orchestra, this was like a full movie soundtrack type of orchestra that you would use when you're recording the actual soundtrack. Full gospel choir. It was unbelievable. And then in comes Little Northwest in her shorts and sweatshirt, which I had a couple friends in the production, and here's the tea. Kanye did come into no one's going to be surprised by this. Kanye came to the rehearsal, gave the director some notes on how his daughter should perform.
Oh, God.
And also had influence on the costume. Anyone who has seen The Lion King, whether it's animated, live action, or the Broadway national tour, any of it, you know that the costumes are more traditional toward African culture. She looked like she was in a Yeezy sweatsuit with fuzzy slippers. It looked like Spirit Halloween. You know, when you're like, I need a costume. I only have $20. I'm going to Spirit Halloween a day before Halloween.
Yes.
That's what it looked like. Where everything else looked multi-million-dollar.
Why do they allow him to do that? Kanye West, does anybody even know who he is anymore?
Everybody knows who Kanye is.
I haven't heard his name in years.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually he's in the news not for his talents as a musical artist these days. It's more just
it's for his wife, whom he barely dresses. That's the truth. He dresses. He creates fashion for her, and usually she's not wearing any undergarments. So you are seeing all of her.
Really?
Yeah, not just her boobs. I'm like, you're seeing all of her.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I could talk Catherine into that one. I'm almost positive that's not going to happen.
From my perspective, it feels abusive. I don't know
Yeah.
if she is a willing participant or what, but it feels odd. Like if Bill was literally like, yeah, just wear things that so everyone can see you out in public with paparazzi, it's strange.
I would have to agree. You know, you just gave me a great memory, though. What was the guy's name that was the chairman of the board, the big shot at Disney before Bob Iger? What was that guy's name again?
Oh, Michael Eisner.
Michael Eisner. There you go. The debut of The Lion King was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I don't know if people know that or not. The
Yes.
very first stage performance was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I went to see it. Disney asked me if I'd go see it, so I went and saw it the night before. We're sitting there talking about this, that, and the other thing, and all of a sudden the hotline rings. And so they answered the hotline and said, Michael Eisner's on the phone. I said, okay. So I put him on the air, and I'm me. You know, I don't make it up as I go along, right? So, hey, Tom, how you doing? So, now, again, why did he call? Because we had the highest rated show in America. That's why he called us, to make sure that he got through, and the thing did debut here and all the rest of it. Michael Eisner calling, Tom. I just want to call because I know you were nice enough to attend the opening play last night. What'd you think of the show? Pause. I thought it sucked.
Oop.
Oh, God, he was not happy.
Tom, it's so good.
It's terrible.
It is so. I want to say something. I saw the original Broadway cast, so it is the same cast that you saw, Tom.
Yes.
Being in that theater with the original Broadway cast at the time, like the puppets, like the human puppets coming down the aisle in the theater was groundbreaking. And I will tell you that it was one of the most extraordinary nights of theater for me. I was listening to myself, and I'm a kid that my mom took me to shows beginning at like age 3.
Okay.
I was like, oh, ooh, I could audibly hear myself oohing and eyeing because it was unlike anything we had seen at the time. Now it doesn't seem that groundbreaking, but
Yeah.
in 1999, when that show debuted, unbelievable.
Well, you said the word for the reason I don't like it. Puppets. Like, ugh.
But it's
Never
not
been a
like
puppet guy.
they're not Muppets. They're not Muppets.
Well, I like the Muppets. The Muppets
No,
are at
these
least
are
funny.
they're big, huge, larger than life. I
Yeah,
mean,
they are.
humans were giraffes. I mean, the art direction on this was extraordinary. Julie Taymor did an amazing job with because you're taking an animated film and making it for the Broadway stage. How do you not make it cartoonish? They figured out a way to do that.
I will tell you one thing. I never heard back from Eisner ever again. So
I don't blame him. I don't know if I'm talking to you ever again. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow.
I bet he doesn't cold call a lot of radio stations anymore after that.
He learned his lesson. But one other thing I want to mention about Northwest too, just I saw it the second night. They taped it both Friday and Saturday night. They turned her volume way down on Saturday night. She was very loud on Friday. Saturday, you know, all of a sudden you have these big booming voices. If you haven't been to the Hollywood Bowl, it's an 18,000 seat venue, and all of a sudden Northwest came on and she was like, "Ooh." And you know, my friend who was on stage as a zebra was the one in charge, and you'll see it in the videos of like guiding her. Like, next we're going to come over here and you're going to sing here. Next we're going to go here and you're going to sing here. Nope, you're done. It's time to get off the stage. Like, she had to literally escort her back and forth. And any professional acting kid who can sing 10 times better wouldn't have needed that.
No, I'm sure that's why do they keep doing that? Why do they keep putting people in just because nobody knows who she is? They know her parents, but they don't know her.
You want to know why now? We're all talking about it. It's going to be a Disney Plus special, and everyone's going to get a chance to see it.
Yeah, because people are either going to watch it because they are a fan of Northwest and let's watch this little girl live out a dream, or people love train wrecks. And so they're going to watch because they want to see her fail miserably. So either way, Disney wins for ratings.
I can't wait to see how much like you said, Kristyn, how much the doctoring of the audio, because they're either going to leave it and it's going to be raw and everybody's going to be like, yeah, that was bad. Or it's going to sound studio quality. When she sings, they're going to dub it over and it's going to sound tremendous. And then Disney's going to go to work, and somehow all of the original like in-person videos that people took are going to be nowhere to be found. So there's going to be no trace of the original performance.
It's on my iPhone. I've got it. I'll bring it back.
They
asked us, they do not tape this because it's going to be on Disney Plus. And I literally was like, oh, say no more.
Oh, that's nice.
Come on. We knew exactly when you were on night 2 after she had become a viral TikTok video on after Friday night show. I knew exactly why they were saying don't tape it. It had nothing to do with the Disney Plus special. It had everything to do with Northwest.
You know, it really put me off with people that don't belong in plays, the singing. You know, it really threw, and I loved him. I thought he was the greatest actor of all time. I will never forget hearing Marlon Brando sing "Luck Be a Lady Tonight." Oh my God, was it horrible? Luck be a lady tonight. Like, yeah, that's really good there, Marlon. That was really good. One of the most famous people in the world couldn't sing a note. Why do they do that?
They did it with Russell Crowe in Les Miserables. And if you ever saw, there's footage out there floating out there of all of them rehearsing for the Oscars when they performed. And he couldn't even stay on beat. And people are like trying to give him the beat. And he is fighting for his life in that. He's like, no, 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 no. Like you can just see him sweating in rehearsal, just hoping that he can make this happen.
Well, it's going to be huge, I assume, to play.
I think that, you know, Lion King, the 30th anniversary special, it's going to look great. And the amount of money that they spent, the talent other than that one song was unbelievable. And it was honestly one of the best nights at the bowl I'd ever seen. And someone offered me a last minute ticket and I'm like, yes, say no more. I am there. And it was great.
I'm glad to hear that. No question about it. But so anything else going on in Hollywood that I should know about that I would go watch?
Well, I just want to know because nobody except for AJ, I think, went to the movie theater this weekend in all of America.
Yeah.
AJ, what'd you go and see?
And I would not a new movie. The Heights Theater over in Columbia Heights was
Love it.
showing Rear Window.
Oh,
and that was fun. They have the organ player before the show, and it's a older crowd, so everybody was into it. It was a fun time, but nothing new. But I think the lead in here is that very disappointing time at the box office for Furiosa
and Garfield too. I mean, over a 3-day weekend, we haven't seen a worse weekend since 1995 when Casper was out. And I'll tell you, if everyone remembers Casper, that was Christina Ricci, and she was a kid at the time. So just to give you perspective, she's a 40-year-old woman now. So time has flown, but it's not a good sign for the summer box office. And there was a lot of discourse over social media on the weekend, which I thought was really interesting, of why people were or were not going to the movie theater. And the obvious ones, from the cost of movie tickets, parents that have to then get a babysitter. It's just an expensive night out, to Hollywood just continually delivering just franchises and reboots. Also to the fact that some people don't feel comfortable in a crowd anymore after the pandemic, which is valid, that's fine. So there's all these different sort of economic things. And yesterday I was talking with someone and I said, it's going to be about special events, whether you're bringing an old movie back to the screen. So it's amazing that you went to see Rear Window, AJ, and you go with the organ and you have the experience. That's why you're going to the theater. You need a Barbenheimer situation. Otherwise, I think people are staying home and just waiting till it hits streaming.
Yeah, but I mean, AJ's deal, Rear Window, is a porno. It's not the same movie.
There's a certain emphasis in Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah,
so use your imagination with that one. Ladies
he had the A side and the B side of Rear Window.
Yes, there you go. That's exactly right.
A lot of B.
I do love, the last thing I think I ever saw at the Columbia Heights Theater, which I love. That's a great theater.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think I went to see Coogan's Bluff there. I took a date to see Coogan's Bluff. How many years ago was that? What's amazing? I cannot believe that OJ Nicole thing was 30 years ago. They were talking about it on the morning. That it seems like it was about 7-8 years ago. It was 30 years ago.
That feels like in some ways a lifetime ago, but I feel like we relived it when they did OJ America, and then Ryan Murphy did his series. So I feel like I relived it. So I thought it was interesting that when he did pass, it kind of was just a little blip on the radar. It was like a day worth of news and we moved on. I know that there's a Nicole Brown Simpson documentary right now out. But it's definitely one of those situations where we revisited this back in, I think it was 2016. And now we're like, okay, we're good. We're good.
You think that's what it is? Yeah. But the time flying by now, it's like, my God, that was 30 years ago. Looking back though, it was 30 years ago.
I still think 2016 was like, 2006 even was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Like I do the math and I'm like, oh gosh, no, it's almost 20 years ago.
I know. It is amazing. All right. Any other horrible things you can report on tomorrow?
I always bring horrible things for you. I'm like, I look and I'm always like, what is the worst thing that I can bring?
Well, Tom really hate.
I know. And just for fun, I'm going to throw out there is a new sub channel. It's a new digital sub channel. So that means you can find it on Pluto or Freevee or any of those Tubi, things like that. It's called Buzzer. And they have licensed out vintage episodes of The Price is Right with Bob Barker from 1984 and 1985. So those are now streaming.
I would like to watch that.
Yeah. And so Buzzer is the sub channel, and you'll find it on Tubi or Pluto or Freevee.
Was he a good guy?
Oh yeah, he told you to spade your cats and dogs, although he had some sexual harassment problems on the job. He was sleeping with all of Barker's beauties.
Whoops. Barker's beauties.
I believe there's a Diane was one of the main or longtime Barker's beauties. I believe he had a longtime affair with her, and she sued him for sexual harassment eventually. So
why don't I have Barney's beauties? What happened? You and Catherine, Alex, what do you think?
I don't want to wear a bikini and go like this for a car. A new car.
It's different because instead of you doing it, Tom wears the bikini.
Yes, I'll wear the
You're all in
bikini.
suits.
That's fine. He's got his new svelte figure, and
I got 20 pounds to go, though. I got to stay
oh,
after
good, Tom.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you. It's very nice of you. All right. Fire it up tomorrow. That's all I have to
Yes,
say.
you guys. Seriously though, I will not be here on Thursday. I'm not kidding. I'm coming tomorrow and I'm coming Friday, but I won't be here on Thursday.
Here we go.
I'm going to be in Las Vegas, you guys. So
Viva.
Well, like bachelorette party, like what?
no, I'm giving a leadership seminar speech. So,
what?
Yeah, I do public speaking every once in a while. So I will be doing that at about 8 in the morning on Thursday. So you're
Yes,
going to have
not.
to go on without me.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, who could we have fill in for her?
Let's brainstorm.
I don't know. Is your speech going to be controversial? Like,
Yeah.
is there going to be any, like, will we see you on the news? Like you went off on some rant?
No, it's not. It's really positive and
irate Hollywood reporter
tells men to stay in the kitchen.
It's really positive. No wonder she is not doing it on this show. There you go. All right. So Thursday, you're not going to be here.
No, but I will be here Wednesday and Friday.
All right. You pill.
I am a pill. What can I do?
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I love working with her.
Oh, she's the greatest.
I love how she gets that little edge when I say something. She's like, "Oh God, Bernard's at it again." Here, wonderful.
Yes.
We are going to wrap this up. The family shows up in about 15 minutes. It's nice to be back in studio, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's good to have you
back in studio. Could warm up a little bit. That'd be nice. I get here, the weather hits the wall.
Classic.
Typical.
Just a dark cloud of rain rolls into town with Tom.
Just followed the car the entire way from
It did.
Florida. Yeah.
I'm telling you, honest to God, that's exactly what happened. All right, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Family up in 15.
Talk to you then.